Imagine a sound so loud it travels across an entire ocean. A roar heard over 2,000 kilometers away. Imagine a sky, once bright blue, turning to pitch black in the middle of the day. This isn't the plot of a disaster movie. This was the reality in April of 1815, when a remote mountain in Indonesia unleashed a fury that would alter the course of human history. The air filled with choking ash, the sun vanished, and for countless people across the globe, the world would never be the same again. This is the story of Mount Tambora. When Tambora erupted, it wasn't just an explosion. It was an event of almost unimaginable scale. To put it into perspective, think of the famous 1883 eruption of Krakatoa. Now multiply that power by 10. That was Tambora. It remains the most powerful volcanic eruption in all of recorded history. A cataclysm that unleashed the force of millions of atomic bombs. Entire villages, bustling with life, were simply erased from existence in a matter of seconds, buried under pyroclastic flows that raced down the mountain at hundreds of kilometers per hour. The immediate devastation was absolute, but the true, creeping horror was only just beginning to unfold. The real disaster wasn't just what came down, but what went up. Tambora didn't just blow its top. It injected a colossal amount of material straight into the stratosphere. We're talking billions upon billions of tons of ash, rock, and most importantly, sulfur dioxide gas. This massive plume spread out high above the weather, forming a thin, almost invisible veil that wrapped itself around the entire planet. This stratospheric haze acted like a planetary sunshade, reflecting a critical amount of sunlight back into space before it could ever reach and warm the Earth's surface. The consequences were slow, subtle, and utterly catastrophic. The world began to cool. The year that followed the eruption, 1816, has been seared into the historical record with a chilling name: the year without a summer. The climatic chaos was unprecedented. In New England, snow fell in June, blanketing hopeful green fields in a layer of white. Across Europe and North America, relentless, cold rains and unseasonable frosts destroyed crops one after another. Farmers watched in despair as their livelihoods withered and died on the vine. Rivers that should have been flowing freely in August were choked with ice. The global food chain was broken. Famine, a word that many in the Western world thought they had left behind, returned with a vengeance. People starved. Riots broke out over bread. Some, seeing the endless gray skies and feeling the relentless cold, genuinely believed it was the apocalypse, the beginning of the end. But even in the midst of this global despair, something truly unexpected was born from the darkness. Trapped indoors by the incessant gloomy weather during a holiday in Switzerland, a small group of literary friends decided to pass the time by writing ghost stories. One of them, a young woman named Mary Shelley, was plagued by vivid, terrifying dreams, fueled by the bleak, stormy world outside her window. From this atmospheric turmoil and a mind sparked by scientific conversations, she began to weave a tale of creation, ambition, and horror. The novel she started writing during that miserable, non-existent summer. It was Frankenstein, a monster born from a year without a sun.
So what exactly happened from a scientific perspective? How could one volcano do all this?
Modern analysis and geological detective work have given us the staggering numbers. The eruption blasted out over 150 cubic kilometers of ash and rock. That is enough material to cover the entire landmass of the United States in a layer about 1.5 centimeters thick. Imagine a thin gray blanket draped over everything. The sulfur dioxide gas was the real climate killer. It formed sulfate aerosols in the stratosphere that directly led to a drop in global average temperatures by as much as 3 degrees Celsius. That might not sound like much, but it's a massive shift for the planet's climate system, enough to throw weather patterns into complete disarray for years. If you were to visit Mount Tambora today, you wouldn't see a smoking peak of fire and brimstone. You'd find a seemingly peaceful, lush, green giant. Its caldera, the vast crater left by the 1815 explosion, is now filled with vegetation, a testament to nature's incredible power of recovery. It looks quiet, serene, almost inviting. But beneath that tranquil surface lies the geologic memory of a blast that not only vaporized, an island kingdom but also triggered a global crisis. It's a powerful, humbling reminder of the immense forces that operate on our planet and just how fragile the systems that sustain us truly are. Tambora showed us, in the most dramatic way possible, that an event on one side of the world can bring the other side to its knees. One mountain, one lost summer. A story of global chaos, famine, and monstrous creation, all written in fire and ash. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. It's stories like these that really show us how interconnected our world is. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the events that shaped our world. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. We'll see you then.